Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk on one of the popular poems, The Striders by A K Ramanujan, who was the poet, translator, folklorist, and philologist. In this short video, I'll talk about his biographical details and also the contribution in the canon of Indian writing in English, the characteristics of A K Ramanujan's writing, and also the analysis of one of his popular poems, The Striders. I hope you will enjoy it. A K Ramanujan was one of the popular Indian writers who was writing in the mid 20th century. Was born in 1929 and died in 1993. He was well-known poet, philologist, folklorist, and also a translator. Born in Mysore in India. He was a multilingual writer, wrote in English and also in Kannada, and contributed to a range of disciplines, including linguistics and cultural studies. His writing mainly focuses on the issue of hybridity and transculturation. His popular collection of poems are The Striders, appeared in 1966, Relations in 1971, selected poems in 1976, and Second Sight in 1986. A.K. Ramanujan was also known for his popular and well-known essay entitled Is There an Indian Way of Thinking? And this essay proposed a notion of context-sensitive thinking. It talks about a very complex and different kind of situational understanding of identity that was different from Western thought, in which he talks about the universal concepts and structures. He also received several awards and recognitions for his collection of poems. He received Sahitya Akademi Award, and you know that he was teaching, or he taught at the University of Chicago, where he developed the South Asian Studies program. And in 1976, the government of India honored him with the title Padma Shri, which is the fourth highest civilian award in the country. So he was one of the great and very well known Indian poet, writer, who was writing in the 20th century. Ramanujan's poems depict human sentiments, feelings, and also emotions in a very direct way. One of the significant thing about his writing is that though he stayed in abroad, we could not notice any kind of influence on his writing. He was quite unique for his style of writing, and you know that known for his technical excellence. He wrote poems in a very intense and casual style, and his poems are very finely crafted pieces of writing in which words shine with depth of meaning. He gave equal importance to meanings and also the design of poems. Ambiguity, use of irony, and also multi-layered meaning are some of another important features of his writings. In most of his writings, particularly in poems, we find an encounter of past and present, of the East and the West. Often he goes back to his childhood memories and experiences of life in India. So his childhood memories or past have a very strong influence on his writings. Most of his poems have their origin in recollected personal emotions. He focuses on the web of family life and also the integration of the individuals with it. Another well-known thinker and writer, R. Parthasarathi, has rightly observed about A.K. Ramanujan's poetry that the family for Ramanujan is in fact one of the central metaphors with which he thinks. So these kinds of familial experiences, his childhood memories, and different kinds of experiences of his life that he spent in India have very strong influence on his writing, and they are very particularly represented in most of his poems. Here is the actual poem, The Striders by A K Ramanujan, and also the picture of a very strange insect downloaded from internet. The poem first included in the very first collection of poems by A K Ramanujan entitled The Striders. It's a very short poem which consists only two stanzas. In the first stanza, A.K. Ramanujan describes the insect. It's a very strange kind of a water bug. And in the second stanza, he links it to the Indian tradition. And also there is a link between ancient time and the present time. So it's not a mere description of the water bug or a strange insect, but it also talks about Indian sensibility and that human emotions. I'm going to read the poem, The Striders. Put away this dream, and search for certain theme. Steamed, bubble-eyed water bugs. See them perch on dry capillary legs, weightless, on the ripple skein of a stream. No, not only prophets walk on water. This bug sits on a landslide of lights and drones eye deep into its tiny streak of sky. The Striders by A.K. Ramanujan is one of the finest poems, and it's very symbolic poem which is about an insect. The strider is a very strange insect. So the title of the poem, The Striders, refers to the predatory insects in the family of Girrid, which rely on surface tension to walk on top of water. Now, if you see the first stanza of the poem, put away this dream. Now, here he is talking about dream and suggesting that you should keep it aside, you should put it away, and then search for certain thin, stemmed, bubbled-eyed water bugs. See them perch on dry, capillary legs, weightless on the ripple skein of a stream. Now here we have the physical description of the water bug, and that the way that it begins, it's very significant. The word "and" uh, it is that it has multiple ideas, and it is not sure, it is not certain. Some may be known and some may be unknown. And also the word search, it refers to an exploration. So it is referring to an exploration which is uncertain to you, which is not known to you, and for certain thin, stemmed, bubbled-eyed water bug. Now here it is about having a stem, and that he is talking about very dynamic kind of thing which is not static, and that it is a symbol of permanence. In Indian sensibility or in Indian mythology, it also refers to the myth of Vishnu. See them perch. So here it that perch means any of the three species of spiny finned freshwater fish, and this water bug is sitting on the surface of the water on dry capillary legs. So sitting on the surface tension, and that human ideas are perching on the ripple skein, the moving disturbance or undulation in the surface of a liquid or sound, it doesn't affect to the water bug. And that off stream. So stream, it's a symbol of universal change or symbol of time, which always change, which is not constant. So here, the first stanza of the poem, it describes the water bug, it describes the striders, and also it is linked to the Indian sensibility, or it is linked to the Indian tradition, and it is very significantly linked in the second stanza. If you see the second stanza, not only prophets. Now here he's talking about prophet, and uh, this kind of a depth and potentiality of the insect is heightened by the yoga. Now this insect is sitting on the surface of the water, just like a prophet, and it makes it very significant, and it you know increases its potentiality, it increases its depth. And it is also talking about the power of human beings, which is enabled to go deep into the mystery of light. So of a landslide of lights and rose eyes deep into its tiny streak of sky. So long, very long, thin piece of land, and that it also talks about human abilities, it also talks about human powers, and simultaneously it also refers to the modern growth or development by science and technology. So this water bug is pondering over different things, and that pondering could be related, uh, could be linked to the human sensibility, or could link to the human development. And that here this water bug is linked with human life, and this water bug is not only sitting on the surface of the water, but he is pondering and sitting like just doing yoga. And that while we concentrate in the inner part of our body, or uh, inside the mind, we think something very serious, we think something very significant, and this kind of depth and potentiality of the insect is heightened by the yoga. And it also talks about the power of human being to ponder over it. And it is very symbolic and also ambiguous poem, which could be understood by linking it to the Indian sensibility. And often it is argued that it was written with diasporic feelings in the mind of the writer, because the process of thwarting native identity and of creating new identities operate as two overwhelming forces of motivating identity politics in Ramanujan's poetry. So here there are a couple of important issues or themes are incorporated in the poem, and there are the notion of roots, the idea of past to present, and also truth and absurdities of religious faith, to views of modern science, or from urge for belongingness to the notion of uncertainty of identity. Because that this insect is very strange. It's a water bug, and that the way it is compared, the way that it has described, it seems absurd. And that uh, it seems that poet is criticizing the religious faith, and that by comparing it with this water bug, is making mockery of this kind of philosophy. So the poem also refers to the Indian tradition, when the poet links the ancient time to the present time, and that it becomes very serious, it becomes very significant when the strider is compared with the ancient prophet. And you know that this prophet, with the help of his inner powers, with the help of his energy, with the help of yoga, used to walk even on the water surface without being sunk. And this strider has also the same capacity, has also the same power, could easily walk on the tension or on the surface of the water. So it creates a very different kind of impression of the fact that poet is also talking about power of human beings, and these powers that he found in the insect, found in the water bug. And this human beings are capable of also going deeper into the mystery of the light, or into the mystery of the universe. And the same kind of seriousness is linked to this strider and the way that it is sitting on the surface of the water. And therefore, it has very deep symbolic meaning. It also refers to the ancient time, and simultaneously it is also talking about the present time. It also talks about the development brought out by science and technology, and how it often takes us into the past and brings us into the present. So it's a kind of a journey, it's a kind of a evolution, it's a kind of a development, and which makes us ponder over it very seriously and sensitively. So this strider is a symbol of it, and you know that it is very significant because of its religious ancient connection. So thank you very much for watching it. I hope you would have enjoyed it. Have a great time. Thank you.